Hey y'all, so today we are going to talk about the difference between curl pattern and hair texture. I have a lot of people that come on the channel and ask me what my hair type / curl pattern is, and I always say that I don't know, and it's not to be rude or dismissive, it's because I actually truly do not know. When I first went natural, like a lot of you, knowing my curl pattern was a big deal because I thought that this was going to help me learn how to care for my hair, but ultimately it really didn't do a lot for me, and I didn't feel like it was helping, or my hair was like doing what it was supposed to do for the characteristics of the like curl pattern that I was supposed to have. So I kind of just gave up, and I was like, I don't think I need this at all. So then I began to focus on my texture, porosity, and density, and that has helped me so much more in my hair journey, which is why I always tell you guys to focus on those properties of your hair rather than your curl pattern. So real quick, it's really easy. The difference between curl pattern and texture, a lot of people use these terms interchangeably and it can get a little confusing, but texture is actually the thickness of your individual strand. So if I take one strand of my hair and see how thick it is, or you probably can't see that because it's really one strand of hair. This would be the texture of my hair, and they say that you can figure out your texture kind of by rolling a piece of your hair between your fingers. So like if you can't feel it at all, then it's usually fine, because you know fine hair is almost like you can't even see, it's like wisp. If it's medium, you can maybe be able to feel a little bit, and then coarse hair, which is mainly what I have, is very prominent. You can see it, like I can see my hair, like usually like if it's on the floor from across the room, and it'll be like a couple of strands or something like that, or you can feel it very prominently rolling between your fingers. It's usually, it almost looks like a piece of thread, and thread is kind of thick because, you know, obviously you don't want your clothes to fall apart. So that is texture, and like they say, coarser textures usually need like more softening, things like that. Finer textures, it's easier to break because the hair strand is smaller, so that can potentially make it weaker. I don't like to really say that fine hair is weaker just because it kind of has a negative connotation. It's just smaller, so it's thinner and it's easier to break. But I mean, it's not like you did anything wrong with it if your hair is fine. Curl pattern, on the other hand, is really just the diameter or the size of your curl. So with that, if I'm taking like a piece of my hair like this and I'm looking at this little curl, and I see how big it is, or if it is the size of a pencil or a marker or something, then that's supposed to be the 3A, B, C, 4A, blah, 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 whatever. So to me, that's kind of, I don't know, I think it's kind of silly. And then I've seen so many different pictures that have curl patterns that are like different sizes, but then they're like, oh no, this is what a strand of 3B looks like, but it'll be completely different than like another picture. And I just think it's really confusing, and I just think it's kind of silly. So the only thing that I think is helpful about curl pattern is that the way our hair works is like our sebum in our scalp. So like it's harder for oil or any kind, like anything, to travel down the strand the more spirally it is, because you know you have all these twists and turns in your hair, and it's really hard for your sebum to just travel down your hair shaft if your hair is very curly and very twisty, like I like to say. So then that's different. So then you may need to supplement with leave-in conditioners and your own oils in your hair just to make sure your hair is getting that lubrication and all that kind of stuff. But besides that, I don't pay attention to it at all. Like I'm all about like the porosity, the texture, and the density of my hair. So hopefully that just clears it up for you guys. I know that there are some other FAQs that we've talked about this before, but I'm not exactly sure where they are, so I can't leave them in the details, sorry. But if you have any questions and you need further clarification, just let me know. So happy Saturday. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.